Hello everyone, Mark here, and today we have a comparison between Flex Wheeler and Derek Lunsford. Flex Wheeler, of course, a 1990s bodybuilder, competed early into the 2000s, but basically a 1990s bodybuilder. And Derek Lunsford, the current Mr. Olympia champion. Now why, Derek doing a little jive there. Why am I doing this one? Well, Flex Wheeler, he made a post, or he actually reposted something on his Instagram. I'll let you guys go over to his Instagram and check it out if you want. It was implying that today's bodybuilders are not as good as they were back then. Or at least Derek is not as good as Flex Wheeler. So I thought a comparison between the two is in order. Also, Superset Man, he did a comparison between these two using video footage. So go check out his comparison if you would like. But first, let us look at Flex Wheeler. This is him in 1993. For this video, we will be using this version, plus a later on version, say 99. But before we look at that 99 version, let's go over to 1995. Here's Flex in 1995. Not as sharp as he was in 93, I would suggest. Now watch this little transformation here. Watch his delts. Wow! Did you see that? He slapped on some clay. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. So if it is a question of, what do they call it, oil, not loyal, but oil, I don't think that today's competitors have any more than they did back then. Let's rewind back to 95. You see that? Now watch. Huh? Come on. But anyway, here is the front double biceps pose. And I'm not here to discredit Flex Wheeler. I'm just here to prove that today's bodybuilders, condition-wise, things of that nature, they can more than hold their own against the 90s guys. Now, in the front double, I do like the arms better of Flex. And this is pre-oil, pre-slapped on clay for Flex. I don't think they had any oil back then. What a beautiful physique. But one thing I do notice, Derek, he's a bus. He's twice as wide as the much taller bodybuilder. So does that not lend some credibility to Derek Lunsford when you compare these two? Now that's 93. Here is 1999 Flex. Now there is a bunch of stuff in those arms. And I'm sure Flex Wheeler at one point or another, he admitted that they were using sight enhancement oils in their arms and other parts as well. Obviously the delts we seen. But Derek, his arms look big and round and not a whole lot of detail in them either. Again, I have to point to the very wide clavicle, lat for Derek. Wheels, there's no discussion here. Flex Wheeler, is that what they called him? Wheeler? Is that his last name? Kenneth Flex Wheeler. He's got some superior quads, folks. Is he gonna beat Derek? Here is the front lat spread. And of course, folks, you have to realize these are just for fun. I'm not taking this too seriously. This is a photo shoot from 93, for goodness sakes. And an on stage from 2025. You're only going to be able to make so much of an educated decision on this, but I think we can tell certain things. Derek, he is going to be twice as wide. If they were able to do a comparison between these two on the actual same stage, which is impossible. But Flex Wheeler, he would in fact win on the quads. He has a better set of wheels. He had a better set in the front double, front lat spread, but the upper body, I don't know. Flex with the superior detail, separation. Derek, superior width. Here's 1999. This is the British Grand Prix. I'm using a couple of different versions from 99. We'll look at a 99 Olympia in those back shots. Not too many back poses from the British Grand Prix. But still, folks, he was massive. He was large and in charge here. I think Flex credits this version to being his all-time best. I don't know. Kind of prefer 1993. But still, there is definitely an argument that says Flex Wheeler, the more narrow bodybuilder, would in fact beat Derek Lunsford in both of the front shots. But there is also an argument that would say Derek's just too wide, making Flex look narrow. So you decide. I think it is still up to some debate. Heading into the turn to the side chest pose. Wow! This is a mix and match to get the sizing correctly, folks. Obviously, that's the only reason I did that. Flex Wheeler, I put a different version of him in the lower half, calves, things of that nature. But take a close look at the detail on this man. Derek, hey, in this situation, keep the width. I will take the superior, maybe even superior condition, muscle separation for Flex Wheeler. I can't get over the dry condition of his legs. This is the Arnold Classic 93. He was way better than he was at the Olympia. This may have even defeated Dorian Yates. Probably not, but he would have been even closer. I'm telling you right now. And in my opinion, he is defeating Derek Lunsford in the side chest. Now go to the 1999 Flex Wheeler. It's just all oblonged. I think there's some oil in those arms, those delts. Maybe they're better at it now. Then I heard somebody one day, I don't know who it was, what difference does it make? Oil's oil. No. If they do it like those guys on those clickbait videos, big sacks coming off their arms. Whoever did that was terrible at it. And then there would be synthal artists. I think I heard Palumbo say one time, synthal artists, if they do it correctly. So there is a big difference. They're doing it now. You might not even be able to tell if they're good at it. So Derek, I'm not going to accuse him of it, and I'm not going to say he's not doing it. Doing it right. Remember that song? Go to the back shots, for goodness sakes, because Derek Lunsford, he's tired of messing around. He wants to get to the point. And the point of this here is, Flex, if you're going to share anything, you should at least have some, what do they call it, humility? I don't know. Maybe that's an incorrect word. But you should have showed that Derek would, in fact, crush you in these back poses. Width and condition. Glutes, my soul. Now that's 93 Olympia. You can't open up both sides. This is 1999. Actually somewhat impressed with Flex's the back itself. Now the lower half. It's granite versus meringue. Flex has a meringue bum. And Derek Lunsford, he has an old iron ass. So I think it's obvious. I think Derek Lunsford, as decent as Flex is in the traps, things of that nature, he does deserve respect. It's not even close. Derek's still twice as wide. And don't make me bring up the old iron bum again. Here's the back double with 1993 Flex Wheeler. Business just picked up. His condition, it's not as good as Derek's. I'll tell you that right now. Of course, we don't know that, do we? Judging off this picture here, he does look pretty shredded to the diced, does Flex Wheeler. But still, he's only half the width of Derek. Derek's wide compared to today's competitors. And back then, I don't know if they could compete with today's guys in width, structures. Why do you think they're so much heavier nowadays? They don't seem to be too much more thicker and developed as they were back then, but it's just their structures. There's just no way, shape, or form Flex is touching Derek in either of the two back shots. But I will say Flex's back double by at one point in time was one of the better poses. Now bring on 99. Now Flex has said, I believe, I remember him saying this, that 99 British Grand Prix was his best version. In terms of the back, in terms of the overall condition, I don't think so. He had the old meringue bum at the Olympia, and here at the British, it seems to be a little harder, more like cotton. Cotton would be a little bit rougher, I think, than actual meringue. And Derek again. Granite all over, twice as wide, twice as big. And if I do say so myself, I think he's bullying Flex Wheeler, a man that made that post. And like I said, you guys go over to his Instagram, see that post. He was being sarcastic. Like Derek had a little speech balloon saying, "Why are we not as conditioned as you guys, Flex?" And Flex responds with, "I don't know. I don't know." But either way, the abs and thigh reveals that Flex Wheeler has a superior set of abs. Also reveals that Derek has a superior shape, V-taper, structure. Of course, when talking structure, you have to throw the legs in there too, right? Flex Wheeler, obviously a superior set. Some guys, and it's genetics, in my opinion, they'll never get those legs filled out like a Flex Wheeler. And now, a lot of the cases, they're just not training hard enough. But the ones that do, they just never get them wheels filled out. And Derek, with his little itty bitty hooves, those little tiny little hooves that he has, there's just no way, shape, or form that he is competing with Flex Wheeler. So Flex, he's getting the abs and thigh. He's getting a lot of these poses. He's getting the most muscular as well. Because there is certain muscle groups on this man that are better. He has better muscle separation in the chest, delts, abs. But that is true with a lot of competitors today. And they're not beating Derek. Ain't nobody beating Derek nowadays. In terms of the judging, anyway. And here is a 1999. Flex Wheeler wins the most musculars. Flex is winning the front doubles, I would assume. Maybe even the front lats. Side chest even. Derek, he's winning the phantom side tricep, probably. Both back shots. And really, that's it. So there is absolutely, and this is the actual picture, I think, that Flex had on his Instagram that he reposted. The most muscular. Of course it was the most muscular. So Flex is, in fact, winning most of the poses. So does he win the competition? Not with the meringue bum. I do not see any judge worth their salt ever awarding a meringue bum over an iron ass. I don't think it would take place. But yes, using the picture comparison to make Flex Wheeler feel better. Sure, okay, he's beating Derek, guys. He's beating Derek. So's Andrew Jacked. So's a lot of the guys, for that matter. Maybe even Good Vito? Could be. Could be. Hit thumbs up on the video, folks. Let me know. Who do you prefer? Who would actually win a bodybuilding competition? Could be two different answers. Have a great one, folks.